Okay, so ready to dive in with me today?
Always.
Awesome. Today we're going to be looking at all this material on Simona Cochi.
Yeah?
And let me tell,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. This woman is fascinating.
Yeah.
She's doing some really impressive things in fashion communication and digital storytelling.
Hmm.
We've got presentations, press releases. We even have some course syllabuses.
Wow.
So we're
The
really,
full picture.
yeah, we're getting the full picture of her career.
Yeah. It's not every day that we get such a comprehensive look at someone's work.
Right. This is going to be a really insightful deep dive.
For sure.
And, here's the thing that really grabbed my attention.
Okay.
Simona doesn't just talk the talk. She's out there walking the walk, She's
Hmm.
blending fashion and digital storytelling in a way that really makes an impact.
Yeah, that's what makes her so intriguing, I think.
Yeah.
She's a true innovator, someone who understands how to connect with audiences
Mm.
in a very meaningful way.
Okay, so before we get too deep into all of her work,
Sure.
let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about her background.
I'm ready.
This woman has done it all.
Yeah.
She's a member of the Lombardia Order of Journalists.
Wow.
She's been a fashion PR specialist,
Uh-huh.
an event manager, a video blogger. She even did a stint as a tour manager for Magic Italy on tour.
Wow, that's it's clear that she has a passion for Italian culture
Yeah.
and a knack for sharing that passion with the world.
Yeah.
Her career path reads like a masterclass in communication and promotion.
It's incredible. And speaking of master classes, her achievements are nothing to sneeze at.
Oh yeah.
She was the first video blogger to promote Viennese museums.
Wow.
Talk about a pioneer.
Pioneer.
And get this, she organized a party with contemporary art star David LaChapelle.
Who wouldn't want to go to that party?
I know, right?
That's awesome.
So,
It's like she's a connector, bringing people and cultures together in unexpected ways.
yes,
And that thread of promoting Italian talent, whether it's, fashion, art, or historical sites, it runs throughout her entire career.
she's like a one-woman cultural embassy.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to the heart of the matter. Her work in fashion communication.
Okay.
I was really struck by her presentation on fashion communication principles,
Mm.
and she makes a really compelling case for creativity being more important than budget
Right.
when it comes to making a splash in the fashion world.
Yeah, that's a refreshing perspective,
Mhm.
especially in an industry often associated with lavish spending.
Right.
I love that she emphasizes resourcefulness and ingenuity.
Me too. And it's not just an abstract concept.
Right.
She backs it up with practical advice.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of Simona's most successful PR stunts involved a cow parade
A cow parade.
through the streets of Milan. She managed to generate massive buzz and media coverage for a local art exhibition without breaking the bank.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic example of how creativity can trump a big budget. It's all about finding unique and engaging ways to capture people's attention.
Right. And it's not just about, flashy events.
Right.
Simona emphasizes the importance of being curious,
Mm-hmm.
constantly seeking out new sources of inspiration,
Yeah.
and even taking a peek at what your competitors are doing.
I think that's a valuable lesson for anyone, regardless of their field.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity keeps us sharp.
Yeah.
Observing others can spark new ideas and approaches.
Yeah,
It's about constantly learning and evolving.
absolutely. Now, here's something I found particularly insightful.
Okay.
Simona believes that fashion is all about emotion.
Mm-hmm.
The key to communicating in fashion, she argues, is transferring those emotions
Okay.
from the product to the buyer.
Right.
But how to do that? By truly feeling and experiencing those emotions yourself.
It's about authenticity.
Right.
If you don't genuinely connect with the product and understand the emotions that it evokes, how can you expect to communicate that to others? Think
Yeah.
about it. When
Yeah.
you see someone genuinely excited about something,
Yeah,
it's contagious, isn't it? That's the kind of energy that resonates with consumers.
exactly. And that leads us to another important point.
Okay.
Different fashion lines cater to different audiences.
Right.
A high fashion brand like Armani targets a very different market than a brand like Miss 60, which is known for its youthful, edgy aesthetic.
Right. And that's where Understanding your target audience is absolutely crucial.
Yes.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Mm-hmm.
You need to tailor your message
Yeah.
to resonate with the specific group that you're trying to reach.
It's like speaking different languages.
Yeah.
You wouldn't use the same vocabulary and tone when talking to, a group of teenagers as you would when addressing a board of directors.
Exactly. So I'm curious, thinking about your own work or projects, what resonates with you so far?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do any of Simona's strategies or insights spark any ideas for how you might communicate more effectively?
I think her emphasis on creativity over budget is really inspiring.
Okay.
And I love the idea of tapping into the emotional core of a product or message.
Those are great takeaways, and it
Mm.
highlights something crucial.
Yeah.
Simona's insights aren't limited to the fashion world.
Right.
These principles can be applied to any field where communication is key.
Absolutely. Now I'm really excited to dive into Simona's work in public relations and publicity.
I agree.
That's where she really shines.
She has a knack for generating buzz and creating captivating stories that get people talking. Let's explore that next. So speaking of making a splash,
Yeah.
Simona's PR playbook.
Yeah,
It's like a master class in building buzz.
it really is.
One of her core principles,
Yeah.
the importance of nurturing,
Mm-hmm.
mutually beneficial relationships.
It's funny. I used to think PR was all about schmoozing
Right.
and getting your name in the papers.
Mm-hmm.
But Simona's approach,
Yeah,
it's so much deeper than that.
it is.
It's about creating genuine connections and
Yeah.
finding ways to collaborate
Yeah.
that benefit everyone involved.
It's like a symbiotic partnership
Right.
where each party brings something valuable to the table.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting what you want.
Right.
It's about creating win-win situations.
Exactly. And that leads us to another crucial point,
Okay.
the need for coordinated communication.
Yes.
Simona is adamant
Mm.
that mixed messages
Yeah.
can really damage a brand.
Totally.
It's like trying to assemble a puzzle with pieces from different sets. It
Right.
just doesn't fit.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
Every piece of communication,
Mm-hmm.
from press releases to social media posts,
Right.
needs to be aligned
Yeah.
and reinforce the same core message. Otherwise, you risk confusing your audience
Right.
and diluting your brand identity.
It reminds me of that time I tried to rebrand my personal website.
Uh-oh.
I changed the colors, the fonts, the tagline, everything.
Yeah.
And guess what? People were totally confused. They didn't recognize me anymore.
Oh, no.
It was a total PR disaster.
That's a perfect example
Yeah.
of how mixed messages can backfire.
Yeah.
It's like trying to be all things to all people.
Mm-hmm.
You end up being nothing to no one.
Lesson learned.
Okay, good.
So let's talk about publicity.
Okay.
Simona sees it as an extension of PR,
Mm-hmm.
often more effective than traditional advertising
Right.
because it feels more organic and authentic.
Yeah.
She's a master of generating free media coverage
She's good at it.
through strategic suggestions
Mm-hmm.
and compelling storytelling.
It's about earning attention rather than buying it.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Are you more likely to trust a paid advertisement or a news article that features a brand or product?
I know I'm more likely to be swayed by a recommendation from a trusted source or an engaging story.
Yes.
And Simona has a knack
Mm-hmm.
for crafting narratives that capture the imagination.
She does.
Remember that cow parade
Yeah.
she organized for the art exhibition?
Yes.
That was pure genius.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
She understood that a traditional press release
Right.
wouldn't cut through the noise.
Yeah.
She needed something bold and unexpected
Yeah.
to grab people's attention.
Yeah.
And the cow parade did just that.
It did.
It generated tons of media coverage
Yeah.
and sparked conversations all over the city.
Speaking of generating buzz,
Okay.
let's talk about Simona's work with Royal Canin.
Yes.
She managed to secure their sponsorship
Hmm.
for a Love for Dogs event,
Nice.
which not only promoted the brand,
Right.
but also raised awareness for a worthy cause.
That's a perfect example
Yeah.
of how to leverage partnerships
Mm-hmm.
to create win-win situations.
Right.
Royal Canin got their brand in front of a targeted audience,
Yeah.
and the Love for Dogs event benefited from the sponsorship.
Yes.
It's strategic and impactful.
Simona's approach to PR and publicity,
Yeah.
it's all about thinking outside the box.
Hmm.
It's about crafting compelling narratives,
Yeah.
forging strategic partnerships,
Mhm.
and finding creative ways to
Yeah.
capture people's attention.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it's about building a positive brand image
Mm-hmm.
and reaching a wider audience
Right.
without relying solely on paid advertising.
Right.
It's about earning media attention
Mm-hmm.
through newsworthy stories and events.
Yes.
It's about building a reputation
Yeah.
that goes beyond marketing hype.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into the digital realm.
Let's go.
Simona's not just a master of traditional PR, and she's
Uh-huh.
also a digital storytelling pioneer.
Yes.
Her work with The Italian Way,
Mm-hmm.
her online video magazine, that showcases Italian culture,
Yeah.
is a prime example of her forward-thinking approach.
The Italian way is a brilliant concept.
I think so too.
It's not just about pretty pictures.
Right.
It's about capturing the essence of a place,
Mm-hmm.
the heart and soul of Italy,
Yeah.
and sharing it with the world in a way that's both informative
Yeah.
and visually stunning.
It's like taking a virtual trip to Italy.
I love it.
And Simona doesn't just rely on beautiful visuals.
Mhm.
She's a savvy digital marketer.
Mhm.
She understands the importance of optimizing content for search engines.
Right.
So people can easily find it.
Yeah, that's key.
And she leverages social media
Of course.
to expand her reach
Mhm.
and create a buzz around her work.
She's a true digital ninja,
She is.
and her work with the Italian way highlights a crucial point.
Yeah.
In today's world,
Mm-hmm.
digital storytelling is essential.
It is.
It's not just an option,
Right.
it's a necessity.
If you're not telling your story online in a way that's engaging and accessible, you're missing out on a huge opportunity
Yeah,
to connect with your audience.
absolutely. And Simona takes it a step further
Oh, does she?
with her concept of phygital events,
Digital.
events that seamlessly blend the physical and digital worlds.
Okay.
Imagine a fashion show that's live streamed
Oh.
to a global audience with viewers able to interact
Wow.
with the models and designers in real time,
That's pretty cool.
or an art exhibition that uses augmented reality
Oh, wow.
to bring the artwork to life.
That's mind-blowing.
It is.
And it's so much more engaging
Right.
than simply attending a traditional event.
Yeah.
It's about creating immersive experiences that transcend geographical boundaries.
It's about breaking down barriers and creating a sense of community,
Yeah.
even when people are physically separated.
Right.
And that's something I find incredibly exciting about the future of storytelling.
Me too. Now let's shift gears
All right.
and talk about Simona's workbook. These are practical guides
Mm-hmm.
that provide a roadmap
Yeah.
for anyone interested in cultural communication and promotion.
Right.
I was particularly struck by her emphasis
Yeah.
on mastering communication techniques.
That's a foundational skill.
It
That's
is.
often overlooked.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how brilliant your ideas are
Right.
if you can't communicate them effectively.
Right.
And Simona's workbooks provide a toolkit
They do.
for crafting clear, compelling messages
Yep.
that resonate with your audience.
She covers everything,
Does she?
from writing press releases to crafting social media posts.
Wow.
It's like a master class in effective communication.
It is.
Distilled into a series of practical exercises and tips.
And it's not just about the written word.
Right.
She also emphasizes the importance of
Yeah.
visual communication,
Mm.
using imagery and video
Right.
to tell your story in a way that's both engaging
Yeah.
and memorable.
It's all about using the right tools for the job.
Yes, it is.
And Simona provides specific examples and case studies
Mhm.
that illustrate her points,
Yeah.
making it easy to understand
Right.
and apply her techniques.
She also highlights the importance
Yeah.
of data analysis.
Mhm.
In today's digital world,
Right.
we have access to a wealth of information
We do.
about our audiences.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to just collect data.
Right.
You need to know how to interpret it
Yeah.
and use it to inform your communication strategies.
It's like having a treasure map,
Right.
but you need to know how to read it to find the treasure.
Exactly.
And Simona's workbooks
Yeah.
provide the tools and techniques you need
Mm-hmm.
to decipher the data
Yeah.
and unlock its potential.
She also stresses the importance of collaboration. In
Mhm.
today's interconnected world,
Right.
it's rare to work in isolation.
Yeah.
Building relationships,
Mm.
sharing ideas.
Yeah. And working together towards a common goal
Yes.
is essential.
It's about leveraging the collective wisdom and expertise of a team
Right.
to create something truly impactful.
And Simona's workbooks provide practical advice
They do.
on how to foster a collaborative environment
Mm-hmm.
and build strong working relationships.
They're like a blueprint for success
Yeah.
in the world of cultural communication and promotion.
Mhm.
And they highlight a crucial point.
Okay.
It's not just about talent.
Right.
It's about strategy,
Mm.
planning, and execution.
So before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
what stood out to you the most about Simona's workbooks?
Uh,
Is there a particular technique or insight that you're eager to try out in your own work?
I'm really intrigued by her emphasis on data analysis. I
Okay.
think that's an area
Yeah.
where I could definitely improve my skills.
Hmm.
And I love her practical tips
Yeah.
on crafting compelling narratives.
Yeah.
That's something I'm always striving to do.
Me too. I think her approach to collaboration
Yeah.
is incredibly valuable, especially in today's increasingly interconnected world.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about finding ways to work together
Right.
to create something bigger than ourselves.
And that brings us to the heart of what makes Simona Cochi so fascinating.
Yeah.
She's not just a master of communication, she's a visionary
Mm-hmm.
who understands the power of storytelling
Yes.
to connect people,
Mm-hmm.
bridge cultures,
Mm-hmm.
and inspire action.
Okay, I'm officially inspired.
Me too.
I can't wait to see what other insights Simona has to share in the final part of our deep dive. Wow, we've really journeyed through Simona Cochi's world today, haven't we?
Yeah.
From the catwalks of Milan to the digital landscape.
Hmm.
She's really left her mark on every corner of fashion communication.
I think it highlights something really important.
Yeah,
Simona's story isn't just about fashion.
right.
It's about the power of communication,
Mm-hmm.
the art of building connections,
Uh-huh.
and the impact of telling stories that resonate.
Exactly. And it's inspiring to see someone, embrace both traditional and cutting edge approaches.
Mm-hmm.
She's a master of PR,
Oh.
but she's also a digital pioneer,
Right.
constantly pushing boundaries and experimenting with new forms of storytelling.
That's what makes her such a compelling figure.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to challenge conventions and explore uncharted territory.
Right.
And that's a lesson we can all take to heart, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what field we're in.
Okay, so we've unpacked a lot of Simona's insights,
Yeah.
but let's bring it back to you,
Okay.
the listener.
Yeah.
Why should you care about Simona Cochi and her story?
Good question.
What can you take away from this deep dive?
Well, I think Simona's career demonstrates that anyone with a compelling story and the right tools can reach a global audience
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and make a difference.
Yeah.
It's about finding your voice,
Mm-hmm.
honing your craft,
Mhm.
and sharing your story with passion and authenticity.
I love that.
She's a living example of that.
It's about realizing that we all have stories to tell.
Right.
And in today's digital age, we have more tools than ever to share those stories with the world.
Exactly. But it's not just about broadcasting your message.
Right.
It's about crafting a narrative that resonates,
Mm-hmm.
building connections, and creating experiences that engage your audience on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Think about Simona's work with The Italian Way.
Yeah.
It's not just a travelogue.
Right.
It's an invitation to experience the heart and soul of Italy
Mm-hmm.
through her eyes.
And she does it in a way that's both informative and visually stunning.
Mm-hmm.
She understands the importance of using multiple senses to create a truly immersive experience.
Yeah.
It's like taking a virtual vacation without leaving your living room.
Exactly. And that's the power of digital storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
It can transport us to different places,
Yeah.
introduce us to new cultures, and spark our imaginations in ways that traditional media simply can't.
It's like magic. But it's not just about escapism.
Right.
It's also about using storytelling to build bridges between cultures, foster understanding, and create a more connected world.
Absolutely.
And that's something that Simona is deeply passionate about.
And I think that's a message that's more relevant than ever in today's increasingly polarized world.
Right.
We need more storytellers like Simona
Yeah.
who can help us see the world through different lenses and appreciate the beauty of our shared humanity.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Simona Cochi,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder.
All right.
What's your story?
Yeah.
What unique experiences, passions, or insights can you share with the world through digital storytelling?
Simona's journey is proof that you don't need a huge budget or a fancy title to make an impact.
Right.
All you need is a story that matters, a willingness to experiment, and a passion for connecting with others.
Beautifully said. So go out there, find your voice, and share your story with the world. You never know who you might inspire.